three moving averages that you want to pay attention to, and a couple of golden crosses actually between all of them. So the 15-day moving average, the orange one that I've got pulled up right here, the 15-day, the 55-day, that's going to be this like teal one right here, the 55-day, and then the 200-day EMA, exponential moving average. And the first two ones are going to be SMAs, simple moving averages. The 200-day EMA is going to be an exponential moving average. What you're looking for is basically a cross over with in regards to the 15-day moving average and the red. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see here. This isn't the best example, but when this red one crosses below the orange one, that is your buy signal. That is called a golden cross. It's bullish. It represents strong strength for the stock, right? The strength, momentum, bullish momentum. That's what it represents. Same exact thing with the 55-day moving average in regards to the red one, right? So each one of these, you want the 15-day moving average crossing above the 200, and you want the 55 crossing above the 200. Same exact thing. Now, which one's more important? The 15-day moving average and the 200-day EMA, that is the cross that is the number one most important in my experience. And there are a ton of moving averages that other people will use and they'll pay no attention to these. In my experience, these are the most important ones, and these are the ones that I stick with typically. I'll change it up sometimes, but these are my favorite ones to use, especially the ones we're talking about, the 15, 55, and 200. And the 55-day moving average. So you're looking for the exact same thing as we said, right? But this one is going to be just a little bit less important than the 15-day and the 200. This is going to be the second most important. Still super important, but it's going to still be a golden cross when they actually cross over. When the 55 crosses above. What about what happens when they cross below, right? As you can see for this stock right here, it is almost, the 200-day EMA is this red one right here. It's actually kind of hard to see, but it's right here in this red rectangular resistance level that we have drawn up. These two are trying to come down and cross below it. That would be a death cross once they cross actually below the 200-day EMA. And a death cross sounds intimidating because it is scary. It's bearish. It's not something that you want for the stocks that you're invested in. So to recap, right, a buy signal, and of course you need to look at several different indicators. I have the Auspicious Technical Analysis playlist ready for you. You can go through this like there's a ton of indicators that you can learn a ton about technical analysis just watching that. You can know pretty much most of what you need to know basic wise just watching those videos. You need to understand and remember that the 15-day moving average and the 55-day, when either of those cross above or below the 200-day EMA, that represents a very important cross, either known as a golden or death cross, and it depends on if it's crossing above or below. If it's crossing above the 200-day EMA, golden cross. It's crossing below, death cross, bearish, right? Golden cross is bullish, death cross is bearish. Another thing you need to understand is that these levels do act as support and resistance, and typically, not always, but the 200-day EMA especially, it will act as a significant level of support, and it's also a gauge and a measurement as to what trend you are in. If you are above it and you're getting support off of it, or if you're just, Bitcoin and just never touching the EMAs, you're in bullish territory, obviously, but that can also be another sign for overextension when you're not really touching that EMA always, all right? So that's something to keep in mind. You need to look at several indicators. They will obviously act as resistance as well, and this is not just the 200-day EMA, it's also the 55 and the 15, also the 21 and 200. We're going to get to those two as well, but those three will act as resistance and support, especially 200-day EMA. The 200 SMA, right? The MA is an SMA, right? They don't put the S in there, but that's what it is. It's a simple moving average. Some brokers like Webull, they just call it the moving average. Basically, this one is another 200-day EMA, basically in the function of measuring the trend, right? So this one, if your stock is above this, that's an indication that you're in an uptrend. If your stock is below that, that's an indication that your stock is in a downtrend. Now, you need to look at more indicators like, you need to look at the RSI, you need to look at that EMA, you need to look at the overall chart pattern and where you're going, right? What's the history of the price action? For this stock, it's really easy. We're obviously in an uptrend macroscopically and then a bear trend midterm, I would argue, because we are still above that 200-day MA and we came from being way in the dump town. So I think this is an uptrend. That's what I would call it. Macroscopically, right? Long term. Short term and midterm, you're in obviously a bear market. You've gone from $15.69 all the way down to $4. So that's pretty much what you need to know as far as the moving averages for. There's plenty of other moving averages and there's plenty of other death crosses that we can get into. Some people would consider this a death cross right here. Yes, technically that's a death cross when the 55 crosses above a small. Technically it's a death cross whenever whenever a big moving average crosses above a smaller moving average. So it's like, well, there's going to be 1,000 of those, and you can put 1,000 different indicators on just to feed whatever confirmation bias you want, which is why I think, well, not necessarily that's not necessarily why I think this, but these moving averages are the ones that I think are most important typically. For me, they work really well. And talking a little bit about the 21-day moving average, we didn't really talk about that, but it's just another microscopic moving average that I like to have. So I have, you know, most people don't use these moving averages, are a little bit weird. Most people don't use these. I like to get a little bit of extra orthodox viewpoint into to consider in my mind, right? Because I want all pieces of information, not just the ones that are going to be agreeing with me regardless, right? If that makes any sense. Portfolio showcase and my current positions and price charts. We are going to go over the price charts in the stream today, so I'm not going to do that right now. All right, so here's the current positions. Let's do this. Blah blah yada yada. Here we go. All right, boom, boom, boom. Mora, we're up 11% on Mora, up 29% on JMIA. I was trying to add to this yesterday. I am mad I didn't, but we're still doing fine. I took profits already. Okay, so yeah, anyways, I show my current positions every video. Relevant information in regards to title is finished now. If you'd like to find the rest of this playlist, there will be cards in the top right and links in the description and the pinned comment for this playlist. All you have to do is go to home and scroll down. The Auspicious Technical Analysis playlist is there for you. This one will be added in there. We've got 5 now. It's just going to keep increasing. Everything you need to know about technical analysis to a basic level at least, and probably to a more advanced level for almost everyone. It's got everything you need. Technical analysis, indicators, NTA, simplified. There you go. Anyways, free money. How do you get free money, Brandon? Free stocks with Webull, basically free money. It is free money. There are no strings attached. Use the link in the description, though. That is the contingency, and you got to deposit like $100 on your first deposit. Current positions, we are done with those. Finally, upgrades are on the way. Camera, lighting, monitor, better editing, right? All this stuff is on the way. By the time you're seeing this, honestly, by the time the channel blows up, by most of you seeing this, this quality of video will seem horrible to the current quality, most likely. If we succeed, who knows what's going to happen. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one.